Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. Very excited as always to be doing a reading vlog for you this weekend. Although knowing me, it'll likely be longer than just the weekend because they always are. So I thought I would start this vlog with letting you know some of the things I'm going to be reading this week, I guess, this weekend definitely. It's now like the very beginning of February, so I'm actually in the process still of deciding my TBR for the month. I haven't actually fully decided yet, but there are a few things that I really do want to get to reading. I'll tell you my plan, because if you've ever watched any of my other vlogs, then you know the best laid plans, you know? I usually read like one of the books that I'm talking about in the beginning of the video, and then I have to just end up taking a complete different route with the books that I'm reading. So in terms of books I'm already reading, I am currently reading this book that has just come out, and I actually had it on my NetGalley. That is basically where they send you books early, like before they're released, and you kind of have to keep up with the things that they're sending you to review them and like keep up a good like kind of ratio of score, like your score for like how much you reviewed and how much like they've sent you on NetGalley. And I'm really behind, so I want to kind of get to this and then oh my god, you can see like my greasy hands on it. It's one of those like soft touch covers that just show everything, but it's so pretty. As you can see, I'm pages in. It's a historical fiction so far, and you are following this toy maker, wood carver, and he's just been asked to come to the palace to make this huge kind of automation, this like mechanical tiger thing. I like how it's written, only just into the plot, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm enjoying the way it's written so far. And then honestly, I was gonna just pick up some other books to see what I was in the mood to read, but I actually really don't know what I'm in the mood for now, so I'm going to take you over to my TBR shelf and we'll pick together, because maybe you can help me. So this is the Out of Control TBR that has now bled into this. So I know that I'm going to read this at some point this month, Impossible Creatures, but I'm doing that with Tasman over at Books in Tasman, so I won't do that yet. I know I really do want to read Nonna. That is or is it Nona? I was just saying this earlier today. I'm not sure if it's Nonna or Nona. Nona the 9th. I want to read that at some point this month as well, but do I want to read it now this weekend? I'm not totally sure. I also definitely want to read Time Shelter this month. I'm doing that as a buddy read with my friend Bex, who you'll see more of later in this vlog. Honestly, what I'm kind of in the mood for, because I'm reading a historical fiction right now, I kind of just want a fun one. Maybe something romantic. So we could do something like this, The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I think that's slightly rom-com in there. Oh no, I want to read Evocation. Oh no, but that's coming out in May, so it's not actually a very priority. I could do a Fate Inked in Blood. That's going to be a fantasy romance. What else do we have here? I'm really loving this series at the minute. This begins with the Natural History of Dragons. That's the second book there. Oh, Gwen and Art. I could definitely do that. And it's like medieval retelling of King Arthur, but like gay. This is the book club book, so I'm reading that at some point, but I'm not going to rush through it now. Oh, I really don't know. I'm not going to force myself to make that decision now because it's too stressful, and I'm going to focus on reading this book first. But they're kind of a flavour of the other options that are coming up of what I might be reading later in the vlog. You'll know better than me. I've probably written it in the description what I'm going to read, so you can see there, see if it's something interesting to you if you want to carry on with the video. Carry on with the video anyway. So actually, right now, I'm going to catapult you back in time, because this morning I went on a lovely little bookshop wandering date with my friend Bex, and it was so cute. We went and had a coffee and did a little bookshop wander, and it was really cute. We went to Daunt Books, spent hours talking. So I will show you now some footage from this morning. We've just had a coffee catch up, and now we are off to Daunt Books as our first stop, but then we are going to do charity books after, because there's loads around here. This is Marylebone area, loads of charity shop books, but we have to just start with the main event, which is the beautiful Daunt Books. Come with us. Typical Daunt Books like filming. This one is over inside. The book club. I'll take you like like an hour, won't it? You're a fast reader, you can do it. I'm absolutely forcing this into Vex's hands because it's my favourite book of all time. And if you don't like it, just keep it to yourself. No, it's so good. Everyone needs to read this if you're watching. It's so, so good. I didn't buy any books in Daunt Books actually. But then we just had a quick check in one of the charity shops. Didn't have much luck. It was a tiny selection, not great. But now we're going to the good charity shop, the Oxfam, that's got like shelves and shelves of stuff. So if I'm getting anything, I'll be getting it there. I just found this book, which I wanted to read for ages, but I don't know what the price of it is, so I'm gonna check, but I might get this. Hello, so I'm back now, and it's a very small haul, but there is a slight haul because Bex was really cute. Basically, it's my birthday next week. My birthday will be gone by the time I get this video up, but I will vlog on my birthday. And I was looking at that book that you saw in the footage of wanting to get that graphic novel, and she got it for me for my birthday. Because it turned out it was a tenner, and I was like, oh no, tenner's a bit too much. Like, I'm not spending like money on books at the minute, even though I just did a huge book haul. That's partially why. And then she got it for me for my birthday, which is just the cutest thing ever, and I'm really excited about this. I loved this artist. She does like really funny comedy comic strips and stuff, but this is her graphic novel, and it's a lot more serious in tone. I think it's kind of like semi-autobiographical about this girl who is going to work on an oil farm, something like that, but apparently it's very sad, it's very harrowing, and it's very beautiful. So I'm really excited because I already know that I like the artist's work from her like funny comedy stuff. So it's not in colour, but I just really love the artist. I'm just gonna do it quickly so I don't get any spoilers. But now I'm going to go downstairs, gonna do a bit of reading. I have been straight chilling, wrapped up. Did I fall asleep? Yes, absolutely. I read to page 50 of Loot. I'm enjoying it. I like the writing style, and so far I like our main characters. So from the perspective of the slightly naive, more innocent toy maker, woodcarver, and his kind of more eccentric mentor. But I kind of want something to like pull me in now, like in terms of the plot. I'm ready for something to happen, because I can't remember, I read this a long time ago. Yeah, and I think there's going to be like some romance in it maybe, or like some secret plots or, you know, intrigue. So hope that kind of kicks in soon. But I am still enjoying it, although I did obviously have a nap, but it was nice. I was just really tired, I think, because I stayed up so late last night and then was like up and out this morning, and then I just got all cozy and fell asleep. Good morning, everyone. I'm on my way to go meet Tori. My other reading updates are I got to 40% of Loot last night. I feel the same about it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm kind of wishing that, I don't know, like by 40% I'm hoping that there'd be a bit more intrigue currently in it than there is. It's a very slow start. I'm enjoying the writing still, but I'm not like desperate to pick it up. I've also decided that I'm going to be reading 100 Years of Solitude, which I tried to read a while ago before I read Love in the Time of Cholera actually, and gave up on it like 2% in, and then read Love in the Time of Cholera, absolutely despised it, and then now I'm like, everyone has insisted that this one is so much better, and it's like him at his best and all of this stuff. So that's the plan. We're going to try and read that. I've got the physical copy, and I'll also get the audiobook to help me along, because with difficult books it's the best way to get through them. I didn't forget, I intentionally didn't even mention the fact that I was going to try and read Wheel of Time this vlog, because I say it at the beginning of every single vlog and I never managed to do it. So then I just decided not to even mention it, but because I'm still the same percent through that I was in December, it's now February, so I just didn't even mention that I was going to read it. But then I actually sat down and read some last night and this morning. I read another like 5%, so I'm like 26% through now. I don't think we're going to get very far, so I'm not even sure that I'll keep updating you. This is the worst of all of the books so far. I'm definitely like in the depths of it, like of the slog. If you've ever heard of the slog with these books, this is the worst one I've read. But we will see. I want to get through it, because apparently after this one it gets really good. Hello vlog, I forgot to check in with you earlier. I've just been sitting here now and editing. I've just got a YouTube video up, but I'm just about to go and do some reading. So like I said earlier, I'm not so in love with Loot, a book that I've been reading. I'm not completely in love with it yet, but I'm going to persevere and try and get another chunk of it done tonight, because I'm feeling like surely this next bit is going to really kick in with the plot. I just think like my brain now needs something quite pacey and quite like fun and easily digestible. So it probably wasn't the best pick, but I do want to persevere now. I've got 40% through. And then I read about 5% of the 100 Years of Solitude, winner of the Nobel Prize. I'm just like, it has to be good. I just hated his other books so much. I love this cover as well. No real thoughts. I'm kind of confused, I won't lie. There's a lot of people and it's like really jumping around and like it's talking about a lot of different stuff already in like the first 5%. So I think I actually am going to read it physically for a bit, because I think that's actually going to help me, especially at the beginning of the book, really like feel situated in the story. So I'll read a bit of Loot and a bit of this tonight, but first I need to make some dinner. So I'm actually not sure what to make. This might look boring, but I'm looking forward to it, and it also took a grand total of like 2 seconds to make. Good morning everyone, just on a little walk, but you'll never believe what happened last night and this morning. I just suddenly felt like a huge motivation to try and get through the Wheel of Time as much as I could. So I just sat there and I got forced myself to read it. And oh my God, it's actually kind of terrible. Like, this is the worst. Oh, the wind is maybe too much. I'll tell you about this later. The charity shop didn't have any good books today. I'm back now. I've just been listening to 100 Years of Solitude. I was feeling so hopeful. No, I wasn't. That's going to be a complete lie. I was feeling cautiously optimistic about this book. And I was like, everyone said it's so much better than Love in the Time of Cholera, which, by the way, I hated, because mainly the main character, who was the most disgusting human being that's ever been written, he is like my literary nemesis. And all of the abuse against women in that is just so hard to read. Women and children. Now I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I do know why. When I did that review of Love in the Time of Cholera, everyone was saying, no, 100 Years is much better. And like, you'll really like understand him and understand his writing if you read 100 Years. And let me just tell you, it only took till, I think I'm about 17% in. What do we have already? Paedophilia. It's so uncomfortable. And it's just like otherwise a really unique story, like nothing I've ever read before. It's like this very strange town, basically. You're following this one family in this town. And like there's parts of it that's just like so evocative as well, like the setting and these people. And I think I would really enjoy it, if not for, why does he have to include paedophilia like that? It's so gross. And I just don't know. I'm going to persevere, because also someone said that basically it's not like romanticized like it is in Love in the Time of Cholera. It's kind of a little bit like just thrown in there, like it's not really commented on. Anyway, I don't know. I want people's thoughts. Have you read Gabriel Garcia Marquez's books? Have you read either of these books? What did you think? But yeah, the other thing I was saying is that against all odds, I've started reading The Wheel of Time. I gave myself a goal. I was like, okay, you have to just keep going to try and get into the story and try and like, basically because there's such full cast, I was like saying to myself, I have to get to the point where I've checked in with every character. How are we setting them up for this story, kind of thing. I got to that point and I was reading it last night and this morning. To be honest, it's just so boring. Like this is the worst of all the Wheel of Time books by far, by literally so far. There is just pages and pages and pages of purely description, no action, no dialogue, nothing. Just description of like people's clothes or like the room that they're in, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Why are you telling me all this? And some of it never comes up again. There's so many characters that you check in with and you're like, why are you telling me this? It doesn't matter. And it's hard to go into any of this. But like the whole of the prologue, I think that's why I just stopped it, because like, you're with characters that, I don't know, he seemed to be really talking about so much in earlier books, like the White Cloaks, if you've read these books. And then suddenly we just get like some random chapters from them and we're like, okay, but we haven't checked in with these people in like 4 books, do you know what I mean? But I think that this is apparently the last slog one. And I thought I was getting away with it. It wasn't too bad of a slog, but this book has just proven me wrong because it's so bad. It's so slow. And to anyone who's watching and being like, well, just give up, just DNF it. I'm not. I cannot DNF at this point. I'm 10 books into a 14-book series. I've been reading this for like 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years maybe. I think I've been reading it for 3 years, but I took a year break in between. And I am going to do anything I can to get to the end and read the Brandon Sanderson ones. If you don't know, Robert Jordan passed away very sadly, quite young as well. And he had like extensive notes on how to finish the series. And then Brandon Sanderson jumped in and wrote the end of the series. He ended up making it 2 books to finish off the series. And I have heard that he finishes it off in such an amazing way. I know that also it's like the fallacy of like sunk costs, you know, when you're like, when you've put so much time into something that then like you can't break out. But like for me, that is actually true. Like genuinely, I've put way too much in that I have to finish it now. I literally have to finish it. So anyway, I think I'm like absolutely rambling on. So I need to make some breakfast because my brain has not kicked into gear today. And then I'm going to spend the day writing. I think I'm in the mood. I've taken the weekend off of doing any writing. Although I figured some things out when I was thinking about it, about the plot. I'm going to rewrite my whole first chapter and I've figured out how to do it, which I mean, it's quite exciting. Now I just need to actually go and do it. So that's kind of the plan for the day. Hello everyone, it's time for lunch. I've just been doing some work and I got some good news about some freelance work that I'm going to be doing, which is very exciting. It's going to be really good, a good new chapter, and also nice to get some freelance work coming in. And now I'm making some lunch, but I'm kind of just in the mood for like picky bits. Looks like a weird meal, but I think it'll be nice. Lunch was lovely, and now I'm having a little treat. I'm having one of those fancy teas from my hamper. So let's chat about books while I do my makeup. Is my parting straight? Tell me in the comments below if my parting's straight. Hee. So basically, as you know, I've been reading 100 Years of Solitude and I've been just cautiously optimistic. But it does look like now we are following the story of a man who marries a child, a literal child and a full-grown man. And it does look like that's going to be a main part of this story. So that is not very fun. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, because I'm just going to move swiftly on from talking about 100 Years of Solitude, is that obviously I often do read books early. I obviously get books early on NetGalley, which is where I can review them early and get access to ebooks and stuff, and then can post the reviews once the books come out, but that's only a few months early actually. But now some of the freelance work that I'm going to be doing is working in publishing, or the publishing realm, and it means that I will be reading books that are very early, as in they don't exist actually as books yet. Kind of reading manuscripts. So it's going to be, I think, a bit of a challenge for me, making time obviously to be reading these manuscripts, but also they're things that I cannot talk about yet, obviously, and will not be able to like update anyone on what I'm reading, which is such an amazing thing to do, and I'm so happy and so privileged to be doing it, and I'm really excited by it. But it does mean that there's going to be a lot of time where I'm going to be having reading time, but I'm not going to be able to actually talk to any of you about what I'm reading. And this happened for the first time last night. I was reading a book. I've gotten about a third of the way through this manuscript, and it's quite intensive because obviously it's for my job, so it's not just casually reading, it's quite closely reading things and thinking about them quite deeply. And also last night I was thinking when I was reading this that I'm gonna have to try and track my books in a different way than usual. So I'd actually love to know if any of you work in publishing and you read things before they become books. How do you track your books? I track my books mainly on Storygraph. They don't really exist on Storygraph. And I track them through like Instagram, kind of keeping you all up to date as well on what I'm reading. That's kind of how I do my own reading tracking. So anyway, that's just something that I've been thinking about. Oh, I put something in my eye. And the other thing I wanted to say is that I've actually made such good progress on the Wheel of Time. Who would have thought it? Not me. I was so close to just giving up on it completely. I've like changed my way of reading it in a way where I'm just like not letting myself get annoyed by it, almost very passively consuming it as a book. I'm just using it as a stepping stone to know what the characters are doing and how he's setting it up for the end game of this whole series. And I'm not trying to like enjoy it like I would enjoy other books, which sounds kind of weird and a bit like sad, but it's the only way I'm gonna get through it. But I actually made so much progress, and I think I'm like 62% through now, which feels amazing to almost be in the end of this book. Finny makeup is done. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to charge my headphones every single day. I keep forgetting to do it. Anyway. Hi Tori. Having coffee, it's gonna have some lunch as well. I'm back home now. I had such a lovely lunch with Tori, and now I'm having some of this little afternoon pick me up. Just done some filming and now I'm just doing some work. The sun has dropped down. In other reading news, I'm at 62% of Wheel of Time and I'm now a quarter of the way through this book. But yes, one of the main characters, or the main character, married a child. It's so fun. I love it when fully grown men marry children. I don't know. I'm at this point just hoping that there's going to be some like retribution or something. I'm gonna just hope that it's actually not treated how it was in Love at the Time of Cholera, where it's just like, this is great and normal, we love it, we love incest. And oh yeah, there was also some incest, but they're not really brother and sister. Anyway, it's fine. So that's what we're up to with reading. I might carry on doing some Wheel of Time as well before bed, because I made real great progress with that lately. I've been kind of ignoring Loot, to be honest. I want to get through it because I've just done my TBR video, which will already be up by now. But these are the books that I'm going to be reading next out of this stack. I'm excited for loads of them actually, but very excited for The Tainted Cup and also Impossible Creatures. I might start that pretty soon. I'm doing the live show with, oh my god, not another ding dong. Should I show you her tricks first though? Misa, spin. Slowest spin known to mankind. Right, we're gonna get a good spin for this last piece of treat. Miso, spin. Good girl. There we go. I've also just started a new book randomly. It's called A Tempest in Tea. It looks like this. It's brand new. I think it's just coming out, or it's just come out, and it's good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of weirdly getting like Six of Crows vibes. I don't know. It's actually vampires. It's not like Six of Crows at all, but it's kind of giving me the energy of that. I've just been listening to that for a bit. I might go and have some dinner now. Good morning, everyone. I've had the laziest morning. Actually, no, I haven't. I've actually been doing quite a lot of productive things, but I haven't gone out on my walks. I feel like it's lazy. But I'm now having a little iced coffee. But I just got a package delivered. I don't know what this package is, but it feels book shaped, so I thought maybe I would open it with you just in case it is. Maybe prop you up somewhere. Excuse the robe, obviously. Right, where's the rippy rip? Here it is. Actually, maybe it's not a book. It's quite like wide. Could be a book, could be a better present. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I hope it's not something really boring. Have I ordered anything really boring? I don't think so. It is a book. Ooh, it's Gabriel Zevin's. These are old books, I believe, but they're being republished. Yes, this is one that I read years ago when I was like a young teenager, and they're being republished in these like really cool new covers. I don't know what this one's about. It's called Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. And this one is Elsewhere, which I read literally when I was like a really young teenager. But basically this girl gets hit by a car and she dies, unfortunately. And she is like 15, I think. And then she goes to Elsewhere, which is kind of like heaven, but basically you age backwards. I can't remember anything about it other than that. I loved it when I was young though, like it's very like teen book. These look really cool. I especially love this cover. It's really, really pretty. So I'm very excited by these. This is the author that did Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which I really liked when I read it, but these are her young teen books. Fun little book mail. Hello, we're outside. I'm off to the library because I need to print some labels. I haven't been to the library in ages, so I'm also kind of keen to see what they've got in. Library was great. I also had a check out of all of the books, and they've got so much better since last time I was there, which is really nice. And I printed some packaging labels. That was good. because I'm being harassed by Vinted, even though they only bought the items 2 days ago. Hold on. I feel like this vlog has had not a lot of reading in it. Although I am now about 40% through this book, Tempest of Tea, loving it. And also I was so on the money when I said, oh, it reminds me of Six of Crows. And I said that when I just started reading it. It's actually billed as Six of Crows mixed with Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders that I have not seen, but it's really good and the vibes are excellent. And actually that is such a good comparison. Six of Crows and Peaky Blinders. It's vampires and they're doing a heist. I love a heist book and it's very fun. I like the characters so far. I'm like 40% through, like I said. Loving that so much. Morning everyone. Although it's not morning, it's afternoon. I'm just finishing off my iced coffee. I am now about to leave the house and I'm going over to Tasman's house. Yay! It's gonna be real cute to see them again. I haven't seen them in a while now actually. Feels like we were seeing each other almost every week and now it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, gonna go over, we're gonna do a writing day. So I'm just packing my bag. I've just been frantically finishing off some work this morning and I've basically done not much reading either. Although I'm much further along in the, what's it called? Tempest of Tea. Loving that, really fun. It's a really, really fun book. But in terms of anything else, have not been reading it. I read a bit more of The Wheel of Time. I got up to about 75% of The Wheel of Time, which I'm very proud of. And I hopefully will be able to finish it by the end of this vlog. Let's head off now and go and see Tasman. Empty bus, empty bus, empty bus.
Plotting this bit and then we have to go. Done in Birmingham.
This is me vlogging because I forgot to vlog all day. Say hi, Rowan. Say hi, Tasman. It's me. I'm sorry. I just stepped on your foot. I'm sorry.
I tried to crawl, like climb you then, but I can't see.
You could do it.
Almost, almost.
I forgot to vlog all day,
gymnastics
and now I'm
next
leaving. So
Oh.
thank you for having me.
Lydia
probably see
and
you next
Connie
week.
are both borrowing Katie Robert books from me.
I'm so excited. My first ever Katie Robert.
I'm so excited. You need to tell
I'm
me
gonna read it
everything.
tonight.
Like, literally, like text me
No, I
every,
will.
every single thing
Okay,
that
I
you
will, I
have.
will, I
It's
will.
not like dirty, is it? It's not like...
No, it's not naughty.
Yeah.
No,
that
no,
would be
no.
inappropriate.
No.
That was so
God, no, please. Good morning, everyone. I just got some book mail in the most beautiful packaging. Oh my god, I can already tell which book it is because I've seen on the back. I've actually got 2 things of book mail. So let's open them together. Let's open this one first. I know what it is. I ordered this one. Did you see that? Yes! So this is The Island of the Sea Woman, which is my friend book club book for this month. And I really love this cover. So this is about 2 women and they live on an island just off South Korea and they get involved in their all-female diving collective. And then there's this beautiful packaging. Oh my god. And I'm really excited because I didn't actually request this one. Maybe they saw my video where I was talking about anticipated books. Oh my god, there's things! There's things! Let's do the book though. Oh my god, it's so pretty! It's the Honey Witch. Oh, it's so stunning. Bookmark comes out on the 16th of May, this one. I'm so excited. This is a cozy sapphic fantasy about a honey witch. We have some things. I have a really cute letter from the author, which is so nice. And I love this, just the thought that's gone into everything is just absolutely gorgeous. Like this bookmark, so cool. It says, love comes as swift as the sting of a bee, and it is as sweet as honey. And something that I believe is honey. It's a tiny form of honey and a little honey, what are they called? Honey, like, drizzler? I'm so happy about this. And while we're doing a little book haul, I borrowed a book last night from Tasman. My first ever Katie Robert book, The Demon's Bargain. If you don't know Katie Robert, she has written so many books and there's kind of like all these connections between the books. And I was asking Tasman, where do I start? I've never read a Katie Robert book before. They are dark romances and also monster romances, as you can kind of tell from the cover. And I love me a monster romance, sorry, but I'm so excited about this. It's a nice little short one, and I think it's like a companion to her other Deal with a Demon series. So lovely to go over to Tasman and Jess's house, and I also met Connie and Rowan for the first time, who are just wonderful people, but it meant that I didn't actually get that much work done because I was just having too much fun chatting. So I came home last night and like was working up until like 1 in the morning to get some stuff done that I wanted to get done. So I feel pretty tired today, and I also feel like I have not been reading, and that this vlog is not going to be like very satisfying because I haven't been finishing books. So today I might focus on resting, recuperating, and doing some reading. In terms of reading updates, I've been reading The Wheel of Time. I am getting up to like 75% there. I'm almost done. And I'm also almost done with the Tempest of Tea. That one. Loving this. This is so much fun. Honestly, like, if you are into Six of Crows or heists or vampires. Oh, hi, Miso. Did you hear her just meowing? Say hi. Oh, she's all wet. She's been out in the rain. You wet? You poor little thing. Anyway, yeah, so if you're into any of those things, you'll love this because it's really well written as well. And now I'm super keen to actually go back and read We Hunt the Flame, which is their first series, I think. Their first, like, few books, because I just love the writing. It's really, really good. In terms of other stuff I've been reading, I've been completely ignoring Loot. It's good, but it's, like, also, like, oh, you know? Anyway, I'll update you later. I'm eating some lunch. Miso is desperate for some lunch. You won't like it. Hello everyone, and welcome to the reading wrap-up portion of this vlog, where I'm going to let you know that I did finally finish Loot. It's so greasy and gross. As you can kind of see from this vlog, I was doing pretty well at the beginning. I got through like the first 40% pretty easily, and then I was really tempted just to DNF it. But I carried on and I persevered, and I read like the middle portion so slowly. But then last night I raced through the last kind of third of this, because this is a book in kind of 3/3. 3/3? A book in thirds. Basically, the first portion was really good. You're introduced to this toy maker, and he's like been invited to the Sultan's palace, and being introduced to this setting through like the eyes of this like naive toy maker is so... It's really, really well done. The whole setting of it is really good, and I really enjoyed the perspective of Abbas, this toy maker. But then kind of the whole middle portion of this book, you're taking like a tour of the world, and a lot of the book also quickly covers quite a long like period of time and big events happening within that time, and you jump around to many different perspectives. And although they were well written, they weren't badly written. I was just like, why are we here with this person now? Like, I just was so interested in Abbas, our main character story, and we just didn't have a perspective from him for the whole middle portion of this book. And for me, the pacing just absolutely slowed to a crawl in the middle, and I was really like tempted to give up. But then the ending of this book was also, again, really good, because finally something in the blurb that's mentioned is there's this heist that happens, and I was like, what is this heist that's going to be happening? Like, I think that the blurb is not very representative of this story, because it kind of bills it as this adventure story. The description says it's a hero's quest, a love story, an exuberant heist novel. It's really not. There is a heist that goes on in the end, and I did really enjoy that entire portion of the book, but it's very much not the focus. The focus is trying to tell this story of this tiger and the people who care about the tiger. So in the end, this book for me was a 3 stars, because, or like 2.5, because I liked half of it and I didn't like half of it, and I can't rate it really higher than that. I think if you love historical fiction, this would be really up your alley. For me, historical fiction is much more hit and miss, and portions of this I absolutely loved, and especially the ending. I really enjoyed the whole setting that we were in, and I enjoyed that we came back to our main character of Abbas and saw what he was doing. But the whole middle portion was so slow, and I was really tempted to give up. This reading vlog, I think I'm going to title it something along the lines of forcing myself to read books that I don't really like, because the next book that I managed to finish was The Wheel of Time, Crossroads of Twilight. I finally finished this book. I've been reading it since December, and I literally had to force myself to read this. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't good. And even usually in these books, even if they're really, really excruciatingly slow, the last 10% will be some amazing battle, some revelation, some like crazy action sequence that goes on that then gets you excited for the next book. Didn't happen in this book, which was such a shame. This book was just like, oh my god, it was almost like unforgivably slow. And if I was just a casual reader of these books, I would absolutely have given up at this point. But I know that there's moments of brilliance in this series, and I also have been told by everyone that from this book, from number 11, it gets so much better, and then the ending is just like really, really good, and it's all worth the payoff. So much that was just like not needed to be said. I honestly think that I could have just skipped this book entirely and still got, like, I maybe needed to like recap like 1 or 2 things, like plot developments, but like even those are like so small, like not even any like character development or anything. It was just nothing was happening. Anyway, this book wasn't great. I'm not going to go into the plot of this, obviously. I literally am tempted to give it 1 star. I'm like not joking. I might give it like 1.5 or maybe just 1. I don't know. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. That's all I have to say. And then next up, in terms of forcing myself to read books, 100 Years of Solitude. And actually, this one, I kind of have to eat my words slightly. I still maintain that there is aspects of this book that make me feel disgust. But do I kind of get it? Do I kind of get it now a bit more? Like, yes. I don't know. If I'd read this one first, but instead of Love in the Time of Cholera, I think I would enjoy it even more. But now, like, because I've read that one and I hate it so much, I think I am going in with like kind of like expectations of what the thing is going to be included in this book. But if I hadn't had those expectations, I might have like given it more grace in terms of when those aspects of the book come up. And by aspects I mean like bestiality, incest, paedophilia, you know, all of those things. When all of those aspects come up in this book, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. But they are actually treated a bit differently in this book than in Love in the Time of Cholera, where they are like just celebrated. And I kind of get it more because this is such a big cast of characters as well. Basically, this book is all about this town called Macondo, and there's mainly about this one family who is the kind of founding family of this town. You're following them through the generations, and just absolutely, they're a bizarre family and bizarre things happen to them, and it's very much about this circular nature of time, and the book is about memory and about how like legacy. It's about so many different things actually. But anyway, I haven't actually finished this book. I'm currently on page 223, so I'm like over halfway. I have about 200 pages left. I'm like back to being cautiously optimistic now. I don't know, like I kind of, the writing is like, you can't deny that the writing is so good, and this is so unique. Like the way that he is writing this family and this story, like no one could do it like this. Like I've never read anything like it. So I don't know, I am like I'm still involved. And I think also having the bigger focus of so many different people, it almost like fits his writing style so much better. One thing I hated in Love in the Time of Cholera is the one main character, basically. I just absolutely despised him. Anytime he was doing anything, I was just like hating it. Whereas this is all of these different characters, and you have all of them doing very different things for different reasons. They all have their own flaws and virtues, and it's like kind of, it makes more sense why they do these things that are kind of terrible, but also like it makes sense within this context, if that makes sense. So yeah, I am definitely going to finish this pretty soon, but I'm taking it slow. It's a very complicated read. Everyone has the same name. There's about 25 people who have the name of Aureliano, which is fun. I'm like constantly referring to the what's it called, the family tree at the very beginning, which like makes it seem more simple than it is, because it's definitely not as simple as it looks in the family tree. But yeah, that's my update for 100 Years of Solitude. Other than that, I read the Tempest of Tea, which I've already kind of given a review of, but I absolutely love this one. It is very much Six of Crows meets Peaky Blinders, but also kind of a King Arthur retelling in there as well. I loved the characters, I loved the plot. I think it was really well written. It was a very fun and also quite like fast-paced read. I'm definitely going to keep on with this series, and I'm also going to check out this author's other series because I really loved the way it was written. I thought it was so much fun, and I gave it like 4.5 stars out of 5. So I think that is everything that I managed to read for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed spending this reading week with me, and even though I kind of was hating the books that I was reading, except for The Tempest of Tea, that was like my shining light in all of this, like pushing myself through these books. But yeah, in the end we did quite well because Loot ended up being okay, and I'm also feeling more positive about 100 Years of Solitude. So this is kind of telling you maybe you should push through books sometimes. Maybe DNFing is not always, you know, the right way, even though I should definitely learn to DNF more. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you have not already, and leave me a comment with something that you're currently reading, and if you're enjoying it, or if you want to DNF, and tell me maybe that I should be DNFing more books, because that's definitely true and should be the case. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!